So we have a few cronies there.
Good morning, this is Lincoln with Paintless Dent Removal. We've got two golf ball sized dents on a black car. Let's see if we can get these out. We're using Paintless Dent Removal. It's a brand new car, so it's better to use this process as opposed to repainting the whole car. We gently massage the dents out from underneath. Right now I'm working on the far dent.
That's right. And to go back to this woman's editorial, Rachel Bronson from the Council on Foreign Relations. Remember, these people are
Working on the far dent. You can see right here.
She also says, don't worry about Saudi Arabia. Our oil prices are going to stay fine. Gasoline prices will stay fine. And the reason is that the Saudi king's able to give $35 billion. Plus, these are the positive things, she says. He's co-opted the opposition. The government has a monopoly on violence there. Indeed, so the Saudis are taking no chances and have arrested people trying to establish a new political party calling for greater democracy and protections for human rights. So don't
Little by little.
because he's arrested all the human rights activists.
He's got a monopoly on violence. Don't worry about it.
Okay, now we're going to come to the closer. A camera's kind of in the way, but what I did was I taped the camera to the side of the car. Hey, you see how I taped the camera to the side of the car here to make this video? It's pretty cool.
So you end up being decapitated, but if you try to even change it and start getting well,
This is some of the new kind of metal they're using, high strength steel. It works differently than the older metal did.
So you see this and these two headlines about Colonel Gaddafi, who was a good buddy of Tony Blair. They went camping together in that little tent and the camels many times, and Tony Blair brought him
Okay, we're almost there.
And watching the news here and talking to local people and reading the newspapers, they target Tony Blair as the reason.
We're using a stainless steel tool from A1 Dent in Bolivar, Missouri. They make great tools.
So next headline, Libya, Colonel Gaddafi must go now, says PM amid mounting pressure on dictator. So then the UK, where poor old Gaddafi thought he was buddies with these cronies and these crooks and these autocrats and despots there. He transferred all his money there and then they seized the assets. So it's a hard job being a dictator.
You should buy the wax museum in London, and you can just stand there all day scaring people, like a wax figure, and then, ooh, it's Gaddafi!
He is good buddy for this movie.
Tony Blair, the new wax museum. All right, Stacey, thanks.
We'll go back, hit a few lows.
I'll be talking with Anthony Shadid. This is an interview that I did a few days ago. So stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Kaiser Report. Time now to go to Cairo to talk with two-time Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Anthony Shadid, the foreign correspondent for the New York Times. He divides his time between Baghdad and Beirut. Today, he's in Cairo.
Tap it down.
reestablished along a different formula. This is breathtaking. This is one of the most transformative moments here, at least in the modern history of the American world.
Yeah, well, just to, fill in what I've been referring to, in America, for example, what we're fed on the mainstream media is this narrative that there's no such thing as the Arab world. There are only Muslims, and they're bad. That's what the West has been spoon-fed, this narrative that has financed the military-industrial complex, financed the terror industry that the U.S. supplies time, financed the tear gas canisters that people found in the streets in Cairo. Now, talk to me a little bit about the role that WikiLeaks and social media played in the revolution. It seems clear that WikiLeaks was the spark in Tunisia, and that's the spark that drove this entire revolution across the region. Yes or no?
I think you can't underestimate the influence of what some of those WikiLeaks disclosures meant.
Tap it down.
Islamist groups. I mean, we've seen a kind of a cross-section of society that has mobilized, that has gone to the street, and has been successful in pressing their demands.
Sure. Whenever you have a dictator ruling over millions of people, they're unhappy. And it would be great, they think, to revolt. But until the existence of social media, that wasn't possible. Now social media came on the scene, and suddenly, because there were two factors, not only did it enable the revolution, but it also it happened under the nose of the barrack, who I'm sure was told
Almost
there
done.
was a Facebook revolution going on 2 or 3 weeks ago. One asked a very interesting question: what is Facebook? So the complete disconnect between a dictator been in power for decades, who probably never hasn't had to work a day in his life, suddenly confronted with what is Facebook, and in that gap, it flowed this revolution.
I think that's overstating, to be honest. I don't think you can say Facebook caused this revolution. If there hadn't been organizing going on here for 10 years, if there hadn't been a labor mobilization starting 5 years ago, if there hadn't been a coalition between Islamists.
That's how we do it at atlasdentremoval.com.
You're going to Facebook and Syria, nothing's going to happen there necessarily. We've seen a societal transformation going on for years.
There it is.
I think the forces that we're talking about.
Thank you very much.